Hello, and welcome everybody. Welcome to the Victory Formation Sports Show. I'm your host, JeffLightsYJr. We've got a special guest, offensive lineman. He's going to go play for Coach TC Taylor and the Jackson State Tigers. We got Christopher Gonzales in the building with us today. Christopher, how's it going, man?
Good. How's it going?
Hey, it's great to hear. It is great to have you, sir. You are committed to play for the 2023 team there at Jackson State. But before we get into all of that, Christopher, I always love to ask people what got you into football? Who kind of was the first person to put the ball in your hands, and when did you get started playing?
Yeah. So I had started playing football when I was like 6. I tried it out. And to be honest, I didn't really like it when I was 6 because coach was always yelling at me. And so I didn't really have a good start to it. So I didn't really play until high school was when I got started. I started freshman year back up because you want to be popular in high school, and it's always the football players that are popular. So that's really where I started my football journey. But yeah.
And so in high school, you started in high school, and just what was that experience like for you? You started in high school, you started playing back ball again. When did you start to the game start to, pick up for you, and you started realizing like, hey, I could do something with this?
Yeah, so freshman year was when I started, and once I got there, I didn't really know like a lot of fundamentals and stuff, so I had to learn all that. But I say sophomore, junior year is when I really started to see that I could really dominate against the guy in front of me and just really beat up on him. Yeah.
And you're from California, it's San Diego, correct?
No, I'm actually from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico. Okay, so I'm sorry, you went to Juco in California. That's where I got that messed up. So before we get to that, just what was that experience like playing in New Mexico, man? I know there's not a lot of New Mexico's not like the hotbed for football. So what was that experience like for you in high school?
Yeah, we're definitely not very highly recruited out there in New Mexico, but we definitely play a good brand of football out there. And I was part of a pretty good team, Volcano Vista High School. My senior year, we went to the semifinals against Sioux Cleveland, but we were a pretty good football team. We knew how to pound the rock, and they knew to run behind big number 77 to score it, man. So, yeah, it was pretty nice going out there, but I wasn't very highly recruited out of high school. So I went to Eastern Mexico out of high school in 2019 because that was kind of the best option that I had. And then I was there for like one semester, and I saw what Coach Chevy and Coach Gary Watkins were doing out here at Mesa, and really thought they could bring my game to the next level. That's what brought me out to San Diego.
And so let's talk about that, man. You said you weren't really recruited. You start at one place, you end up at another JUCO. Then, you're talking 2019. COVID hit in 2020. Just what was that experience like for you? You're in college, you're trying to play ball, you're trying to get scholarships, and then this pandemic happened. So how did that kind of shift things, or did it shift anything for
Yeah, I'd got in San Diego like January of 2020, so right before the whole shutdown had went down. And I was there for like a month or two lifting with the team and in a new city, never been there before, didn't know anybody but the coaches. And then the whole COVID thing hit, and we are just doing like Zoom calls, and like the season was kind of in the air if it was going to happen or not. So then I kind of moved back home for a little bit, back to New Mexico while everything was going down. And then I went back in 2021 when we had our first season, and we went to a bowl game for that season, but didn't really all put it together. And then this past season, we went to the Southern California Bowl, and we won that one.
Absolutely, man. Now, just post COVID, being able to actually play, just what was your experience like there at your JUCO? And you talked about the success that you guys had on the field, but what was your personal experience like? And then what was also recruiting like for you?
Yeah, so my personal experience, me being out of state kid, it's very expensive out there. Kind of having to work and provide for myself.
And Cali JUCOs don't give scholarships, correct?
Yeah, no scholarships.
Okay, and continue on. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I've been working ever since I got over here. So mainly for me, it was school, football, like weights, and then football, and then I have to go to work all the way after that. So I'd really be like out doing stuff from like 8 in the morning when classes start all the way till I did a night shift my first year. So I'd come home at like 10 or 11 at night and just repeat every day. So it's really a grind out here.
Wow. I mean, that I mean, football alone is a full-time job, especially for someone who's not from the state of California, right? Like, it's not like you go stay with mom, crash with mom and dad. You have to get your own apartment, get your own groceries, pay for your gas, everything. And you have to work on top of that, man. That is impressive that you were able to do that for what, 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years, well, 3 with the whole COVID shutdown and everything. But yeah, it was definitely a
Wow,
grind.
man.
But I was lucky. My girlfriend, she moved out here from Albuquerque, New Mexico, with me, so she kind of helped easy, well, like her kind of help carry the load a little bit for me. But yeah, it's definitely been a grind these past few years. So.
That is crazy, man. That is crazy. And so while you're working, you're practicing, you're playing games. Just when did recruiting kind of start? You said you were under recruited out of high school. How did recruiting go for you this go around? Was it the first year you started getting interest? Was it the second year at your JUCO? Just how did the recruiting process go while you're there in San Diego?
Yeah, the first year, I got like 1 or 2 D2 looks because the first year I was kind of fighting for my spot a little bit, trying to
Mhm.
find my place because I had really, in 2019 was when like I was playing a full season and everything. So it'd kind of been like a full 2 years since I had really played like
Mm,
a full season and everything. Because at my previous school before that, I had redshirted. So I was just practicing with the team and then the whole
mhm,
COVID shut down. So I was kind of trying to find my groove again. And so after the first season, I kind of solidified my spot as a guard. So this next season, I went in and kind of just went crazy. I got all conference honors, and that's when everything started to really take off for me. That's when the
absolutely, man. That's awesome. And so, what coach from Jackson State reached out first, and just what was that interaction like for you?
yeah, it was a O-line coach over there, Coach Joe, and I really like how he presented himself in the school, and I really liked what their plans were and the history that Jackson brings forth. I really just wanted to go to a school that had a good old line coach that believed in me, and also I believed in the work that he's going to put in and what he can make me be. And I really think that Coach TC Taylor and Coach Joe can make me to that next level.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Once again, we're talking to Christopher Gonzales. He's going to go play offensive line for Jackson State in 2023. Now, Christopher, did you know anything about JSU? If so, what did you know? Or was this all kind of a new experience for you being recruited by Jackson State?
It was definitely all a new experience. Like you heard the Coach Prime stuff and all that, but other than that, I didn't really know anything about Jackson State. So it's really cool to have been learning about all the stuff that they offer, and it's kind of gonna be my first time being over there when I head out there. So.
Absolutely, man. And you're coming from San Diego, so that's going to be awesome. It's going to be a really dope experience. What I want to ask you, Christopher, also is, Jackson State has had a lot of success over the last few years. I mean, historically, they've had a ton of success over the course of their history at football, but specifically these last 2 years, they're back-to-back SWAC champions. Just what is it going to mean for you to be able to be a part of a team who's trying to, who's lost a ton as far as when it goes to transfer portal and their coaches and everything, but has brought in a ton of talent and is looking to keep this thing rolling when it comes to winning? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, they definitely lost quite a few guys this past season, but I think they're bringing in a lot of very, very great talent, and like me that can either replace it or elevate it. So
Mhm.
I think we're gonna be just fine. We're definitely gonna guard the yard this year.
Absolutely, man. They love to hear that. Guard the yard is definitely the saying that is going around there. What has the coaching staff like? Just in you've been committed. They've been recruiting you for a while, and before that, I just how have they kind of said that they want to use you, or how do they see you fitting in to the new offense that'll be ran by Coach Maurice Harris and the new head coach and Coach TC Taylor? How do you see yourself fitting in to their scheme, or do you like everything that you see from them?
Yeah, I really like everything that I see from them. I think they have some very good weapons on their offense, and they have a very good defense coming back. But they see me as an inside guy, which I love playing inside. I love beating up the guy in front of me, and don't
Right.
have as much space as tackles have to work with. So as long as I get my hands on them, they're done. So I'm looking to repeat my success from last year and go even better than last year. But I see myself as being a key role in their offense this season. But I bring a
Absolutely.
very physical style of play, which I think they'll benefit from, and the running backs will love. So.
And that was going to be my next question. Just for some people, we don't always pay attention. Only time really offensive linemen get, attention paid to them is when they do something wrong. It's like when you do stuff right for the most part, a lot of people don't like to give you the love and the credit that you deserve. But for someone, if no one's been able to see you play, how is there anybody maybe in the pros or even at the collegiate level that you would compare your game to, or maybe a playing style? Is there anybody like that?
I don't think I really play like anybody in the league, but definitely like Trent Williams, his nastiness. That's what I like to play with. Just I don't really talk smack that much, but I'll definitely bury you in the dirt and then pick you up and do it again the next play. So that's gonna be something running backs gonna love and my team's gonna love. So yeah.
All right, now that's awesome to hear. First of all, people, fans love to hear that kind of stuff. So you're more of you like to really get after it when it goes to run blocking, or are you more of like, I like setting my stance for pass blocking? How does that work for you? Which one do you prefer, or do you prefer one over the other?
I definitely prefer run blocking, but pass blocking, I've definitely perfected my craft since I've been over here in Mesa, just working on my sets and working on different hand punches. And I really like to pride myself in being the guy. If you need a guy shut down during the game, I'm the guy to do it. And I kind of did that this past season over at Mesa. I definitely called out a few guys and shut them down over the game. So I'm looking to do that again over here at Jackson.
Hey, that is awesome, man. That is awesome to hear. I know the coaching staff and the fans love to hear that. Now, Christopher, I see you got some nice artwork on your arms, man. What is the significance of some of your tattoos, man? What made you decide to get those, or do they mean anything to you?
My first one didn't mean anything. The first one I got a full like tiger sleeve, it's full half sleeve.
Yeah.
Kind of might have been meant to go to Jackson, or I got the tiger tat. So yeah, that was my first one that I got, and then I have Gonzales on my arm. That's just my last name. I really liked it, and then this is the most recent one. I got like a little guy. Me and my girlfriend went for our 5-year anniversary this past month. Went to go get some flash tattoos, so I just thought that was kind of cool, and it went with the whole Gonzales theme. And then I also have my Z symbol from New Mexico, because I like to be New Mexico strong to represent the hometown. And then I also have a dragon on my calf. But yeah, I definitely like artwork.
Hey, it looks good, man. It looks awesome, dog, to see that all that stuff and what it means to you. Now, for someone, you'll be obviously you're a student athlete, but there is that student part. So for folks that want to know, what do you be majoring in, and what is kind of like the thought process behind that?
Yeah. So back when I was at Mesa, I just got my AA in just general studies, because I was kind of flopping around what I wanted to do. Didn't really know yet. But over the past years, I've been around a few folks that have kind of been showing me the way and kind of showing me a field that I think I'd be really good at. So I'm going to graphic design over there at Jackson State. And I just think that fit my talents the best, and also something that I wouldn't mind doing for after football. And that's what mainly I was looking for.
Yeah, and that goes into my next question. We always want you to have the best college careers possible, go on to play professional football, make all the money, do all the great things. But just for someone, obviously football will end, and it ends when you're fairly young, 30s, maybe if you're lucky to play in your 40s, but even then you're still a fairly young man. Just what is something that you think you might want to do once football is over with?
Yeah, so definitely go into a field where that graphic design is definitely used. I've been talking with a few of my family friends and family members that are in that field, so I haven't quite figured it out yet, like exactly where I'm going to be, but that's definitely the type of field that I'm going to be in, because I grew up with a very like artsy family. Like my mom, she was a painter for a little bit, and then a lot of my family members are really creative and good with like artistic stuff. So yeah, that's where I'm going to go.
Absolutely, man. Once again, we're talking to Christopher Gonzales. He's going to go play for JSU in 2023. Now, Christopher, you told me before we got started here that you're making the trip, a driving trip from San Diego to Jackson, Mississippi. Just, how have you mapped this thing out? What does it kind of look like? Like, man, I need to know the details on what it's going to be like driving from San Diego, California to Jackson, Mississippi. What's that going to be like?
Yeah, so I'm gonna head up on Tuesday. It's gonna take me like 3 days to get there in total, but Tuesday I'm gonna drive from San Diego to Albuquerque. I'm gonna stay at my parents' house, and then after that I'm gonna go from Albuquerque to Texas. We're still finding out like the exact location in Texas, but just so I'm not driving, because we mapped it out from Albuquerque to Jackson, it'd be like 15 hours, and I want to get there and it'd be like midnight and having coaches trying to show me around the dorms and stuff. Like it'd just be way more better if I just stay somewhere in Texas for a night and then get rolling the next day. But yeah, I'll be over there on the 29th is when I officially be over there and ready to go.
And what are you most looking forward to? Because obviously you've played football, right? The last couple of years, but it's been JUCO. Now to actually get a chance to play for a 4-year school and a school that can see, that averaged over 40,000 people in the stands last year. Just what's that feeling going to be like for you when you're able to take the field for JSU?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something that I'm very excited about. I've been watching the videos on how packed their stadiums get, and I'm very excited to see all the fans come to the vet and just see everything. But that's definitely could be the number one thing that I'm excited about, to play in a packed stadium, because in New Mexico and stuff, you don't really get kind of packed, but not very, very packed. And then JUCO, like as many people come as they can, but they're not going to get as nearly as much as the vet gets. And then playing on prime time, like the ABC for week 1 and then ESPN for week 2, that there definitely could be some crazy ones. But I'm definitely looking forward to showcasing my talent and show that us New Mexico guys are some dogs. And we could definitely compete with the best of them.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, Christopher, I won't hold you for too much longer, man. Just before we get out of here, once again, this is Christopher Gonzales. He's going to go play for Coach TC Taylor on the offensive line at Jackson State. Before we get out of here, Christopher, I just want to ask you, man, is there anything you want to say to Tiger Nation before we get out of here, sir? The floor is yours.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely look at the offense line this season, because we're definitely going to be nasty. We're going to be getting after it. Your quarterback's going to be looking nice after every game, shiny uniform, shiny helmet. And we're definitely going to pound the rock and get ready to guard the yard, baby. Let's go.
Absolutely. That is Christopher Gonzales. My name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. Thank you all for tuning in once again. This is Christopher Gonzales. He's going to go play for Jackson State in 2023. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next time.